Sorry, it takes so long. No, okay. Yeah, can I start?
Well, it looks like...
No, it works. Can you hear me? Yes. Huh?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Our next keynote speaker, Mr. Mansour Yacoub, is used with the stage because he had the chance to introduce so many artists to the agency that he is conducting, right, in Berlin. I was very pleasantly surprised to learn that you are, or your nationality is...
Yeah, my mother comes from Hungary and my father from Egypt, but I grew up here.
And so please welcome our next keynote speaker, Mr. Mansour Yacoub.
Thank you so much. So first, Yeah, for me it's of course a great pleasure to talk in front of students, what I often do actually, and I never did it here in this beautiful house, and I got very impressed by the first time I came here to a very nice concert of the singer Malika Ayane. And the whole philosophy of the building is something what I work with and work for also. So you already know my name, Mansour Yacoub. I want to thank this house that I got the possibility to speak here and to present our projects. Short to my person, I'm already 49 years old. I studied my education with political economy in Berlin at the University of Economics, and then after I studied international communication at the Lomonosov and also languages at the Moscow State Linguistic University, which was called Maurice Thorez. And I studied also marketing and project management. This is a base actually to do cultural business, to have knowledge from somewhere and to be able to communicate. After that I was sales manager of an advertising company in Berlin, which was called Georg Karl Behrendt. For 10 years I worked as an international model for several agencies in Athens, Milan, Miami and many more. And I got through a project the possibility to learn how to direct an opera, and so I directed also operas. One of my best-selling operas was the opera of Gaetano Donizetti, Lucia di Lammermoor, and I was a master student at Maria Franz, which is a very successful opera director here in Germany and in the German-speaking countries. Yeah, I did also gastro management. I did the gastro for the Russian embassy and several bars and clubs in Berlin, and did always there include international bands and other cultural projects, which is actually a way to sell also drinks and so on. These are my experiences. We did also ballet performances, and okay, that was short about me. What we are doing, any artist agency and PR agency offers artist management, booking, marketing, PR, promotion management, which gets always the most important, because before you start a project you have to have some money also. It gets always more difficult, and it is actually a very big part of our work to find money for projects. Yeah, we do events, we do castings, and the most important, I don't know, in what subjects are you studying actually? What are your studies? Are you also from cultural management? Yeah? Okay, cool. So you will have all this, what I'm telling you soon, yeah? Okay, and the most important for our jobs is the networking, which takes a big part of the whole working process. You have to be able to communicate, you have to build up relationship to other organizations. It depends what you want to do, if you want to create art or art projects, or also maybe to go in politics or something like this. Networking is the most important. Yeah, we deal with several genres. We sell singers, dancers, actors, DJs. We have also choreographers and film directors. We organize also exhibitions for fine art. And we offer to artists, of course, all the things they need. Young artists, they are creative, they have their dreams. But really, realistically, to build up something what you can sell, it's a totally different story, and therefore we are. Yeah. My agency is always giving with his projects a statement for peace, nature, and humanity, because this is, I think, a very important point. We do the Peace Fest, we organized the Peace Festival, and we did the booking PR, and I did also the moderation in the last year. Another interesting project we are on, this is yearly in December, the Canaan Conference, which had the first conference in Berlin in the last winter. It is a conference about women for peace in the Near East. Very interesting projects where we had really all the possibilities to know about the work of women under such hard conditions of war or occupation. And it was for me a very touching experience, and yeah, I hope this work will continue for a long time. Yeah, and this year we did the Peace Fest on Kurfürstendamm. It was this year. We did the booking and we presented also a few bands. Okay, my first project I want to suggest, I call it here Project Future One because it's still not, it is realized, but next shows are also planned, but there's no real date. The project is called The Power of Music and Arts to Reconcile Mankind with Nature. It is a project by Emfa Kera, singer and composer and activist. I don't know, she's actually very well known. We did also in your house, at the old house in Kudam. We did already several concerts with her, and this is a project about planting trees. We all know what the industry does with our environment, especially in the third world. They are cutting trees, they are destroying the ground. What is the result is landslides, is poverty, and of course the whole political situations of those countries are never the same like we have here. And this is the first important project I'm working on now since months, and I'm now a little confused with folios, just 1 second. Yeah, the initiative and the concept is of Emfa Kera. She tries to contribute this idea and the vision to buy seeds of the moringa tree, which is called also the wonder tree, because it has so many minerals and vitamins in it, and if you grow it in the earth, it can make the whole earth more, how to say it? Sorry? Exactly. Thank you. And it could change a big part in the world, because those people, they don't have even the money for the seeds, or they don't know how to organize it. And the best example to this project is the organization Trees for the Future. They have done a lot already for this. Here I mentioned now some names. To this project will be included a lot of well-known agronomists and artists also who did a lot for the trees in Berlin. I just mentioned Ben Wagen. She is very well known here and got several prizes from the government for his actions, and it will be a very interesting event. I just want to show you, unfortunately it's so small. On this part you can see, of course, where in the world are the biggest problems. Yeah, and it's most of the time in the third world. Unfortunately, the tree grows only in very warm countries. And here are mentioned all the nutritions, the stuff what is inside in the tree, and it is not only in the leaves. It is, you can use any part of that tree, and one seed costs around, one tree costs something like €1. So it's not so expensive to invest something. And we want to call for action with our music, with having tours of the Black Heritage Band with Emfa Kera, which is an amazing program, world music, jazz, Afro soul, and convince other people also to get their own actions with culture. That's why Kera calls the project the power of music and arts to reconcile mankind with nature. We want also to create another understanding, because lots of people in the third world don't understand actually what is going on. This project has, as I told you already, an artistic program, then a lecture of Ben Wagen. We want to inform, to give infos and projections through the work of the organization Trees of the Future, who have worldwide actions already, and it is very successful. Maybe if you're interested, you can go on the web and see what they're doing and what they did the last years already. Yeah, we will also, during the event, we want to present some Moringa products, snacks and drinks, and we will sell merchandise, and of course we try to get money to buy seats and to discuss about further actions, what everybody could do, maybe in his circles, to organize an event with culture and to promote this project. Yeah, we have the goal, as I told you, to get mankind and nature in harmony. We apply on the common sense, want to raise awareness and call for action. And we try always to get collaborations, for instance, with this beautiful house, the ICD, or other institutes and universities. And one main point about this is also to create a network to discuss results of other projects and to find solutions. Yeah, as any event is the quantitative goals, we have to get also the money somehow, so we try to get through ticket selling and sponsoring and selling merchandise. Also to pay the promotion, which is actually always a big part of the finances. Okay, this was my first project I wanted to introduce you. The second project, it's about a new internet platform, Netzfrauen. It's called, you find it under netzfrauen.org, exactly, and this is a how do you say in English, phenomenon? Yeah. In the marketing, for any people who deal with marketing, it's the leader of this organization is Dorothea Schreier. She's a freelance journalist, and she got during 2.5 years more than 1 million of sympathizants, and also on her Facebook page there are, I don't know, 150,000, and she has the connection to many good journalists and TV channels and radio to get the best information about everything. It's a very progressive platform, and I would love to have a kind of a tour with her to spread her informations. She's the leading informant about the Monsanto company, about many other projects. She knows everything, and she says really absolute the truth, and it's all based on very good research. And I wanted to introduce you to this now because she has a new her new event about the hypothesis on relationship between good nutrition and peace, which is very interesting, and also the power of networking. You can really change something through networking and blogging, and you know what I'm talking about. We speak so much, we spend so much time on Facebook or on other social media. Yeah, there will be a discussion in this evening also on this event, and we want to try also to get Xavier Naidoo, who already said yes, he will do this for this project, so I think this will be also an entertaining point. Okay, the third project is a very interesting project, sorry. It is about the organization, the NGO Parent Circle. It is an organization in Israel, in Tel Aviv. And it is about to get the parents together of both sides, Israel and Palestine, who lost a child or a relative during the war or any kind of situation like this. And I met the responsible persons there on the Canaan conference, and it was amazing what job they do, very touching. They talk about stories we cannot imagine. I don't know where you are coming from. Most look European, I think so. Yeah. And I wanted at the same time to present the film of Shelley Herman, Within the Eyes of the Storm, which is about Parent Circle, the work, and also to get Robbie Damelin, who is the symbol of this organization. It's a South African, a woman from South Africa who fought against apartheid during the 6 Days War. I'm not sure how, I think it's the 6 Days War, and she ended up in Tel Aviv, and she stayed there and grew up with her family, and one of her sons also was shot by a Palestinian. And she is a wonderful person who really tries to keep this organization together. I have a short film. I would love to show that. I'm not sure if it's here. I hope it works. I'm not in the net here, then it cannot work.
Wireless.
Yeah. Netzwerk aktivieren.
Academy 3?
Yeah, Academy 3, okay.
What is the password? Does anyone know?
Same.
Okay. So just like the name of the network, ICD
Yeah.
in big letters, hyphen, Academy. See, just like it's written the name of the network.
Okay, I'm sorry. Now it should work, huh? Yeah, I just thought so.
Do you have the sound plugged in? Yeah, do. Yeah? Is it turned on?
To bring this message of peace and reconciliation, and we prove that it's possible. We are not only two crazy people. We are here to represent more than 600 families in the parent circle who have to spread the same message, that we can live together and we need to share this land together. Thank you very much.
You know, I was watching everybody today, and I suddenly remembered that when you look for the humanity in the other, that's really the beginning of the end of conflict. And this has to be a lesson to all of us, because very often we don't see who's on the other side. Losing a child is the worst thing that possibly can happen to you. It is the pain that never goes away. You learn to live with it next to you. And you learn also that nothing is ever totally joyous. It's always bittersweet. But it's also what you decide to do with all of this. When I recognized that Palestinian mothers had the same pain as I did, and that there was no difference between me or Nasra, who lost her son, I suddenly realized what a powerful tool this would be to make a difference in the world, and how extraordinary it would be if we could stand on the same stage and talk together in the same voice. And after David was killed, David was a student at Tel Aviv University. He was studying for his master's in the philosophy of education. And I suddenly, I thought I have to do something to stop other families from experiencing this pain, both Israeli and Palestinian. And this became a mission and a pilgrimage, I would say. And I started to travel all over the world. And I thought I was a really big deal. Here I am with my eloquent English, telling people about peace and reconciliation and telling them what to do. And then one day, a knock on the door. The army have come to tell me that they caught the man who killed David. Wow, what did they think? I was going to jump around with joy? That became one of the most difficult things, because this work requires you to actually look and see if you're honest. Because if you're not honest, you cannot reconcile with anybody. And so I had many, many sleepless nights not knowing what to do with this. And I came to the conclusion that I have to walk the walk with the man who killed David. And so this is not a prerequisite for anybody. And when we talk about forgiving, we have to be terribly careful by what we mean by forgiving. Does it mean giving up your right to justice? Does it mean it's okay what the person did, they can do it again? Or you should forget? How can I forget my child? So I wrote a letter to the family of the sniper. His name is Thaya. And 2 Palestinians from our group delivered it. It's a very long story, and I won't go into the whole story, but actually it took something like 2 years when I got a letter, not exactly from Martin Luther King, to justify everything that he had done. And then I realized, wow, I'm free. Do you realize that I'm not a victim? It isn't that I still haven't got to walk the walk, but my life is not contingent on what Thaya decides to do. If he will say he's sorry, if he won't. The forgiving is for me. The forgiving is to open my own self to be vulnerable. The forgiving is not to be a victim.
I think this is very impressive. It's very impressive to me, and to see the whole work of Parent Circle, where they really get Israeli and Palestinian families together, and they create with their pain other cultural projects and many things more. And this, of course, will be in an event. We always include art with this. So I will get an artist of Palestine and, of course, of Israel together for the entertainment. There will be also a discussion. The film of Shelley Herman, I just spoke about it, is very impressive too. If you want, you can contact me and I will give you all the links. And I hope we can realize this project. Okay. I have another project, and this is about the human catastrophe in Greece. we have now these changes in Europe. We see the news, we don't understand what is really going on. It is all about money, but so many human beings are suffering there in such a way. And this is actually only a flight of 3 hours. It's very near here in the middle of Europe. Yeah? And when I read the statistics about people who died in the last 5 years because they couldn't get any kind of medicine or they couldn't visit the doctor, it is really just shocking. 35 people died officially in Athens the last 5 years because of this. And I want to introduce a good friend of mine. I studied with him in Moscow, Dimitri Kutiabasagos, which is now one of the leading film directors in Greece for documentary films, and to have a lecture of him about the actual situation in Greece, not only about the situation, the political situation, or we want to speak about cultural life in Greece mainly. And I tried to get for this concert Chantel, which is a very famous musician here. He did this Balkan music, and so it's very popular in the clubs. And with one of the biggest folklore stars of Greece, her name is Areti Kebime. They produced a song together to have a look, to inform people also about the problems in Greece now. And this is planned until September. Of course, with the fundraising for a hospital. There is a hospital in Athens who treats people without paying, but they have no money, they need any support, and we try to find really money for them. Yeah, and the next project is less social, it's a commercial, it's just a concert. We do a lot of concerts with several genres, as I told you already, and I'm planning a concert we already spoke to the ICD and tried to find out about conditions and so, but we will do it also until December, a concert with André and Davide Mattioli. They are big Italo pop stars in Italy and in the Eastern Bloc. In Moscow, they performed in front of hundreds and thousands people, and I thought also for the great Italian community it would be nice in Berlin. And yeah, this is an easy project, it's just a concert. The last one I would like to suggest is the musical star of Czechoslovakia. I've seen her a few months ago in Prague, and I also want to bring her to Berlin. She sings jazz until pop and music and everything. So actually I'm at the end now. If you have any questions, I would be happy. No question. Okay, then thank you so much for your attention. I wish you good luck for your future, and you will see the difficulties, but also the nice part of your jobs then. You will meet always great people, and I give the suggest communicate all the time, try to get more information about all the parts of life, and then you will have it easier and you will have a good job. Yeah? Thank you.
Well, I have a question actually for anybody.
Okay.
You mentioned a few times the power of networking and communicating,
Yes.
and going out
Yeah.
there to reach the crowds, I assume. Do
Yeah.
you have a certain way in which you do that, to reach out to your
I
network?
had to learn this. It was difficult for me. Of course, I studied culture and many things, but you are born with a computer, actually, and you know better than us. For us, it was more difficult. Of course, there are techniques to blog and to write also. For instance, that project with Dorothea Schreier about Netzfrauen. She isn't a study journalist, but she found a simple language, a kind of blogger language, of course, with a journalistic way, but she's reaching so many target groups. That's why her concept is so successful. And yeah, the whole marketing and the social media is a science. There are of course some tricks you have to think of to how to reach the target groups. It's also a question of money. Everything costs, and you should always try to do a good mix of everything, not to concentrate on one thing, to have from everything a little, to see how it grows, and you see everything in a time, yeah. We have different projects, they grow in a different way. We have some client asked me also to promote this and this project, and then you have to think what target groups you need and blah, blah, you know about that all. But the technical side, if you buy ads and there are so many things to think of, is really a science that would be now here too long actually, but I suggest to do always a mix. Yeah, there are many actions you can do. I'm sorry, I'm not prepared to do the online marketing and the social media here, but of course we do this, and
I guess I was rather referring also to your diverse background as Hungarian, Egyptian, living your life in diverse Berlin. If you focus on specific target groups when you choose your projects, or do the projects choose you, how do you usually...
No, that's a good question. Yeah, of course I choose also. It took me time. I founded the agency only in 2013, and for me, I did the same job as you. You bring the artist or the project into the house. It is a totally different thing if you have an office and you think somebody calls and books a project to present. That's a totally different thing. I had also to learn this. But I'm, of course, I told you about the image of our company, that we try to mix art in our events with always a political topic or a thing what we think of what is from our life, a human or for peace or anything. And such project as I promoted now about Israel-Palestine, I'm very interested, of course. It is touching, and yeah, but we have so many problems in the world. There's a lot of work to do actually, and if you can bring this idea, or if you can help with art, this is the best feeling you can get in life. I mean, for me it's like this. To have a nice concert, to help someone, or to reach a goal, it's a thing. Yeah, you have always to fight for contracts in your job. It's not easy to get also projects or the responsibility to projects. You have to be informed about many things and just find your way. I mean, it takes a little bit. You're young, and it needs some experience of life also to communicate with those people. And yeah, I wish you good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. It looks like passion, dedication, and hard work is the key to have an accomplishment like you're having. So, thank you very much for today.
Cool. Thank you.